Welcome back to the channel. In this video, buying your first caravan. So for this one I thought I'd sit down for a bit. Yeah, bit noisy out in the barn today. There's people next door sorting their horses out and stuff, so I thought I'd come inside and talk to you in comfort. So you want to go caravanning. Layouts is a big thing with caravanning. As you know, I have this great Pegasus Grande, which has an L-shaped lounge here, and you're sitting on a table, and just to your right, as it would be, or my right or your left, depending which way around we look at this, there's a single seat. When this, to be honest, when this layout first came out, I was a bit like, why the hell would you want a seat there? Why is this? Couldn't quite figure it out. So now I've lived with it for a couple of months, I actually think it's actually a brilliant idea. It's nice too if you can have a nice cosy dinner sitting on the table. That seat also doubles up there as well, as if you wanted to put, you know, if you're going out with the dogs, your shoes are down there, you can sit on there while you're putting your shoes on, and it's handy. It's very good. Not the most comfortable of seats, I'll be honest. Just that single one, everyone else is fine, just that single one seems to be a bit harder than the rest of them. Don't know why. Anyway, less about me. You want a caravan, I've already got one. So layout, so let's say 2 adults, 2 children. You're looking at a 4-berth caravan. Now, choose the layout you want is very important, because what works for me or someone else who's in the next caravan might not work for yourself. So best thing to do is do your research online. Most dealers will give you, underneath the photo of the caravan, or one of the photos of the caravan, they'll do you a quick walk round of everything. Underneath will be a floor plan, which will be basically an overview of the caravan that you're looking at with that advert. They are good, excellent stuff, but it doesn't beat physically standing in it. When you look at the layout for this one on an advert or in the brochure even, because this has a pull-out bed, which when it's on its day position it's pushed in, they only show that when it's pushed in on the thing. They don't show it when it's out. Now when it's out, I can just about squeeze past the end of it to get to the bathroom. So it's always best to go and visualise and have a look at it. What other things people like to know is, you know, how wide is the gap down the middle of the caravan? You know, if you've got 4 of you, there's a lot of traffic to go past one bit, and if the door's at the back, you're always going past the kitchen to annoy someone, or you're always going back to get to the toilet. It's thing. So the best thing to do is go and have a look at the caravan at the dealers. Have a couple in mind what you want to do, or just physically go wild, go random, go and have a look. Physically being in it is the best idea. What you've got to think of as well is when you go to a dealership, the caravans are stripped, they're empty. You've got to visualise it with all your stuff in it. And like at the moment, if I was to show you my one, I mean, I've got the water barrel down here, I've got the wife's moon chair there, I've got the bins here, so all that stuff's got to go somewhere when you're travelling. And also when it's set up, things go places, like telly's got to go up there. You've got a bit of clothing, so obviously cupboard space is another requirement as well. Yeah, it's always the best thing to do is go and have a look and see what you like. So you found the layout you like. Say a 4-berth caravan, so basically it's got a fixed bed at the back, and it's got 2 bunks or settees at the front. That's your 4-berth. Finally, so you found your layout. What's next? Well, you've got to set yourself a budget, really. Think what you want or what you've seen, and see what's out there. There are websites online which will, you put what you want in and they'll go find it for you. I think Caravan Finder's one of them. That shows you what dealers have got, what they've got, what the prices are. Obviously there are finance options on, there are most things in life now. There's a finance option which does make things a bit more expensive, but it spreads the cost over time like most things do. So you're looking for your caravan, you've done the website checks, you've done anything like that. Another question that I used to get asked quite a lot is private or dealership, what's best? Personally, with a dealership, you get it ready to run. You pick it up on your chosen pickup date and it's ready to go. Everything's been sorted out, no problems. It's basically, you could hook up, take your clothes and you can go on holiday for a week. You've got that backup as well of being knowing that it's got a little bit of a warranty with it. You've also got the fact knowing that, you know, if there was a problem with it, you could take it back and it would, you know, be sorted. Also, things are like, as well as, you know, if you wanted to put it on finance, 99.9% of dealers do have the option of putting things on finance, so it would spread the cost over a couple of years. Privately, you've got none of that really. You can buy privately, and you can buy privately very, very well. I've known people buy stuff and you think you got it for that, really, and it's been probably, you know, the best thing, you know, I've seen that day, you know. With private selling, you don't know when it was last serviced. You only got the word of the vendor. You don't know what it's been used for. Has it been lived in? Has it been parked in somewhere that's been damaged? It's a minefield. You can pay for people to go and have a look. Again, going back to personally, when I was a caravan engineer, I went out to several caravans at the beginning of the season where people were buying caravans to see what they were like. And again, you know, 8 out of 10 of them spotless. There was the other couple in there that were like, don't touch it. But no, it's a risk you take with private sellers. Obviously, it's nice, and majority of them are cash, bank transfer. You've got no comeback. If you drive up the road and the wheel falls off, your problem now, not theirs. With the dealer, obviously, if the wheel falls off, you've got some sort of comeback on them. So yeah, I personally have bought my last, I've bought all three of them from a dealer. Also, when I've sold them, I've obviously, because I was in the game, I've sold them with a full service, damp checks and stuff like that. So another thing before you sign on dotted line and buy your caravan, where are you going to put it? Obviously, at some point in its life, it's going to have to be parked somewhere. We don't use it. So like you know, I'm quite lucky. I have 2 spaces in the barn here. So when I finish with it, come back to the barn, unhooked, security devices on, it's all shut down, lovely, narrow parts next to it, I drive off in the other car. You might not have the luxury of having a facility like I have access to. So what you got to do is you've got to think, right, okay, check your local area, see if you've got any registered security or safe secure storage sites. There is a association online called CASSOA, which is CASSOA.co.uk or .org, I can't remember. I'll put it at the bottom of the link. I'll put it down here somewhere. They are the industry standard approved secure storage sites. So most of the insurance companies will recognise these sites. You get gold, silver, bronze levels. The higher the rating, the more you get off your insurance, or you should do anyway. That's always best place to start. There are other places like myself here, you know, this is on a farm in a barn, does have a locked door in a locked enclosure in a locked gate farm. Not many people come in here, so I'm quite lucky with that. There are other farms where you're basically just shown over there in the field, mate, and that's all the security they got. Again, risk is up to you where you put it. It's getting more and more difficult now to store your caravan at home. If you live on one of these new estates that keep popping up all over the place, I would check your deeds to see if you're allowed to keep a caravan on the driveway. I've known a couple of people bought a caravan, then got home and people have gone, oh, did you know on your deeds here you can't have a caravan on your drive? Try and store it away from your house. The other thing about it as well, not storing at home, is people know when you're not there. If your caravan's gone, you ain't there. So it does leave the old beady eyes open for an empty house there. So yeah, think ahead. So insurance. When you are towing your caravan is usually covered under your car insurance, but only as a third party class insurance. When your caravan is disconnected from your car, it's not insured. Not insured. Now, you can have a form of insurance which is basically like household insurance. So basically, it's contents. New for old insurance is quite a popular one. So basically, if your caravan gets stolen, the premium will let you, or will fund, basically a purchase of the new version of what your old caravan was. So if, say for instance, like this one now, this Bailey, whatever the equivalent is now, from when it's 4 years from when it was made to what the equivalent is now, if this was to go and I had it insured for new for old, what happened is, if there's anything happened to this and it's written off, or it's stolen, couldn't be found ever again, my insurance would cover the purchase of the equivalent new one. Or the other one is market value. So basically, market value would be like similar to car insurance. So say for instance, the caravan is worth £20,000. At the time of it going missing or making a claim, it was £16,000 was what it was worth. You get £16,000, not £20,000. You know, it's market values. So yeah, insurance is definitely worth looking into. Sites don't ask for proof of insurance when you get on site, but it's always good to have some just in case. So before you buy your caravan, take heed. What are you going to tow it with? As you know, I'm a bit of a Land Rover fanatic, and I tow this great big lump with my Defender, which is just parked behind me there, which pulls it no problems whatsoever. But people, I've had it a couple of times where people have bought stuff. I had a customer many years ago who bought a 2-berth Bailey. I think it was a Pageant, a little small 2-berth one, and he towed it with a 1.4 diesel Polo, which I was a bit alarmed about. But I did raise this with him when we was having a cup of tea, and I said, you know, isn't that a bit small for you? He goes, no. He said, I've worked it all out on a bit of paper. He said, I've got the 85% rule, and that car pulls it lovely. And it did, not a problem. I have seen, as probably you have seen on YouTube, many things of things like Renault 5s pulling twin axle Caravans. Not the safest thing in the world to do. If you're towing the caravan's not going to be towing you. So you've got to have a suitable vehicle enough to do it. I know I tow mine with a 4x4. You don't strictly need a 4x4 to tow a caravan with, as long as the car is heavy enough and is powerful enough, obviously the other thing, to tow it. You shouldn't really have a problem. I've seen many people towing things like twin axle Baileys with things like Kia Sportages, which are not the biggest car in the world, but they seem to do very well. And if you go back through the records of the tow car of the year, you usually find that most of them are, you know, medium-size SUV type vehicles. Check what you're towing with and the towing capacity of the car as well. The towing capacity of the car, the nose weight of the caravan you're going to be putting on that car. If you're unsure, there's loads of YouTubes and video that explain this, or you can ask your dealer. Your dealer should be able to help you out with any questions of that nature. So you're about to sign on that dotted line to buy your caravan. What are you going to get with your caravan? Now, it's always best to look, especially buying it through a dealership, always best to see what you're going to get with it. This is the downside of buying through a dealership. If you buy privately, usually what happens is if the people are giving up caravanning, you'll get everything. So you will get the aqua roll, you'll get the waste unit, you'll get all the pipes, you get the water pump, you get the hookup cable, you'll get gas bottles, you get the lot. Now with a dealership, everything you get is 9 times 10 extra. There are a couple of dealerships I know of who will give you a basic starter kit with the caravan. So they will give you a water barrel, they give you a waste barrel, they will give you a half a Cala gas bottle of gas, and a leisure battery just to get you going. But most dealers, you know, bigger dealers, everything is an optional extra. So you'll have to buy a water pump, you'll have to buy a leisure battery, you have to supply your own gas bottle. So it can get expensive. Do a bit of a bargain. Ask the dealership what you're going to get with it. If they've got stuff, I mean, I've got great friends with a dealer who will, you know, oh, this one come in the back of something, and we're not going to sell it. You have that, you know, and it's done. But any other people have got, you know, if it's worth selling, they'll sell it to you. Yeah, don't overdo it when it comes to buying accessories either. I've seen a lot of people go in and buy the first caravan and then come out with washing lines, you know, outside shower units, this, that, everything. And you go there next year to service their caravan, it's all in the garage, still in the boxes, hasn't ever been used. Go out for your first trip, then see what you need. Obviously, you're going to need chairs to sit outside. That's an obvious thing. But no, don't overbuy stuff straight away. Go out for your first trip. Obviously, the other thing you've got to check is when you do buy your caravan, what they're going to do to it. Obviously, there's a thing called like a pre-sale or pre-purchase check over safety check, which usually is basically a full service. So with that full service, you should get a full mechanical service. So basically, that's his wheels off, check the brakes, check the floor, overrun damper, jockey wheel, hitch, corner steadies, road lights. Then inside you should get gas test, a water test, a room CO test. Like I say, damp is the main one you should get. With certain caravans, he says, looking around himself, you can't do a damp test on the walls, because basically the walls, you can't on these things. These are like a Formica type covering on the wall. So another thing you've got to check when you get it, if they say they've done a full damp check and they've done all the walls, and some caravans don't have damp walls, they have damp floors. So, you know, it's little things you want to know. If in doubt, phone your local NCC engineer, phone a local engineer, whoever. They will give you an honest opinion. And also as well, if the dealer's any worth his salt and you say, can I have an independent inspection before I buy it, they should go, carry on. You know, nothing to hide, just crack on. Yeah, so you come away with a fully serviced caravan. We should be ready to go. So basically you could, in theory, like I said previously, hook it up to your car, chuck your clothes in, go. So your caravan's tucked safely, safely tucked away in your storage facility, either it's in at home outside the front door, or it's, you know, in a storage facility down the road. You're going to do your first trip. Now, people on their first trip usually go, we're going to go here. You can go there if you want to, not a problem. But the best thing I often find out, I always used to say to people was, if you're going to go on your first trip away in your caravan, the ideal thing to do is stay local. As you know, we use a campsite which is 24 miles away from here quite often. That's about as far as you want to go. Find yourself a little local campsite to try it out, because you need to be local at home. You know, you need to be close to home or close to people, so if things do go wrong or you don't know about stuff, you're not a million miles away from home and you've forgotten the mains lead and that's back at home. There's benefits of staying local. Once you get more experience, you can travel a bit further and a bit further out. And it still happens to the best of us. I went to France one year and forgot the lever to put the motor mover handle on the motor movers to engage it. And I just felt very silly because I had to go to the supermarket and buy a tyre wrench to put it on. You know, that's another thing. So stay local and go to a populated campsite. Don't go to like a little CL somewhere where there's hardly anyone there. Go to a campsite where you'll be surrounded by people. So go for camping a caravanning club site, go to a caravan club site, go somewhere where you're surrounded, because what you usually find is if people see you're struggling, people will help. And to be honest, people are very friendly on campsites. If you go and ask someone for, I don't know how to do this, could you show me? Majority of the time they go, of course, have a cup of tea while you're waiting, and they'll do it for you. But they'll show you anything. You know, people understand that when you buy a caravan, if it's your first one, you are going to be, you know, a novice, and things are going to seem to be a lot harder than they are. Yes, it's not as hard as it seems. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science anyway, is it really? It's a caravan, so caravan science then instead. So you've done your first trip. You've been away, still a little bit unsure, a little bit shaky about stuff, that's about, you know, how things work and everything, but trust me, you do get used to stuff. Eventually, you know, it becomes second nature. It's like riding a bike or swimming. It's all of a sudden you just find yourself, oh, I've done that, and it's easy. And then what you find yourself then is you find yourself then helping other people who were in the same position as you were a couple of trips ago. Yeah, the people are a friendly lot. You know, with going back to, you know, campsites as well. There are campsites, many campsites out there that suit people's different tastes. I mean, we've just come back from York yesterday. Went to Neighbourne Locks, which is an adult only site, which is part of the Tranquil Parks group, or part of the Tranquil Parks website, one of their ones on there, and get adult only. That's what we like. You know, we love children to bits. You know, I have two children of my own, and I have a grandson. You know, love them to bits. But when I'm on holiday, I don't want other people's children around me. Don't want me dogs, other people's kids. Nah. We go away just for peace and quiet. No footballs being kicked everywhere, and, you know, noisy children in the campsite or campsite playground, and, you know, it's just personal choice. But then again, on the other hand, there are campsites out there which are like holiday parks. You know, you have a pitch. We went for a campsite. We didn't take the caravan there. We had a static in Holland, a place called Wassenaar, Dunriel, which is the campsite is basically on the theme park. And we used to open the door at 9 o'clock in the morning. My son used to shoot out, come back for lunch at 12, then 12:30, back out the door again, back at 5. He used to see him, but he knew where he was because he was in the park. That might be your stuff. You might want to go away with friends where, you know, you've all got a couple of children and you want to go away. You might want to go in the middle of the woods. There's campsites for everything, and clubs for everything as well. I mean, you know, the two major ones are, you know, the Camping and Caravanning Club and the Caravan and Motorhome Club. They're the two main ones that have been around forever. They have their club sites, then they have their CLs or CSs, you know, certificated locations and whatnot. There really is stuff for everyone out there. So, you know, dig around, you might find what you like. So that's basically it for this video. I hope I've given you a couple of ideas on what to do, what to look for. It's like I say at the beginning of the video, this is I was going to sort of do a little bit of a mini series, as it were. You know, not drama, nothing like that, but like a small series of videos for people who are starting out basically from scratch. So, like I say, as I just explained, this video just gone from buying your first caravan, how to deal with dealers, how to do, you know, what to look for, how to choose your layouts, what clubs, sites do you need to be a club, even what deals can you strike with your dealer when you buy your caravan, where to store your caravan, you know, it's what to tow it with. It's all stuff like that people go, yeah, I'll buy a caravan, and then go, oh, I don't know. They get a bit waylaid. So hopefully in this series, we're going to start, you know, breaking it down to a little bit. So basically, we've done the buying now, and you've done your first trip out. But what we're going to do then is we're going to take that into a little bit further. Now, probably the next one is going to be, you know, hitching your caravan up to your car, how to do it safely, how to do it right, how to do your pre-flight checks, as they call them. So things like tyre pressures, you know, your road lights and stuff like that. Preparation of your tow car. And then, you know, basically mirrors, what you should see out of your mirrors when you're driving. It's going to be one of those sort of series where everything is basically covered. So, like I say again, hopefully you enjoyed this. Please click like, subscribe, notification bell, which is underneath this thing here somewhere. Yeah, nice talking to you. Hope to see you again. Bye for now.